What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm super stoked you guys could drop by once again, and if this is your first time, I greatly appreciate you for watching this video. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make your photos just look very nice. We're going to be making them look really good. The only thing you're going to need is Lightroom and, well, some decent photos. Now this tutorial will help you out with making some nice Instagram bangers or even some good thumbnails to throw up on your YouTube videos. Is Instagram bangers even a word anymore? I mean, let's get into it. All right, guys, I have so many different photos to choose from. I think I'm gonna just stay on the photo that's selected. I believe I posted that on Instagram. All right, so starting off, the right-hand corner is just way too washed out. So I'm gonna drag those highlights down, try to get back that detail. I'm gonna just drag it all the way down. And then maybe bring up the whites just to brighten it back up a bit. Cool, so I already like how that looks. I mean, look at all the detail up here that I've brought back. Went from washed out to detail. Washed out, detail. So much better. So if any of your guys' photos are just washed out, overexposed, try bringing the highlights down and then maybe dragging the whites up a little bit if you need to brighten it back up. All right, so I'm liking that already. It's a good little correction. Now, for me personally, I like to bring some of the colors out. I like the colors to pop. Now, that's not always the case. Some photos you may just want to desaturate it, and that's cool too. But for this photo, let's bring up the colors. I'm gonna go vibrance and then maybe bring it up 20. Hit before and after. Cool, I like that. It's subtle, but it makes the colors just pop a little bit more. All right, next up, maybe we'll cruise down to, here we go, enable lens correction. Now, your lens will distort your photo, and when you hit the enable lens correction, it's gonna undistort that. Is that a word, undistort? It's gonna make it so that distortion's gone. But personally, I like the distortion. It kind of gives it a stylized look and kind of keeps me center focused, and I like how the corners are almost like vignetting a little bit. So I think I'm gonna stick with that. Let's go to radial gradient. So what this does, in case you are unaware, is whatever's in this circle is what will be affected and edited. So as you see right here, the inside is highlighted. So if I wanted to bring, let's see, maybe the exposure up a tiny bit to emphasize me a bit more. I'm not too sure about that. Let's see. Let's go back to 0. Maybe. I'll drag it up a tiny bit. So whatever's in this circle is affected. So let's bring up that exposure just a tiny bit. And I think I'm going to add in another one. Drag it over here. Drag it on top of that one. And then let's kind of shrink it around me. So now this time, instead of affecting the circle, I'm gonna hit the invert button. So now it's gonna affect everything outside that circle. Except this time, I wanna make everything outside the circle just a bit darker to really emphasize me in the middle. So I just bring down the exposure ever so slightly. I know it's kind of like up to you. So if you wanna bring it way down, you know, you can. But I like to do it just kind of subtly so it doesn't look too crazy. So yeah, just line that up right there. And then we can, let's see. Let's go back to our main settings. Maybe bring up the exposure ever so slightly. I'll just bring it up like that. Cool. Yeah, just ever so slightly. And then what we want next is, let's see. Where is vignetting? I like to vignette it just a bit as well to really keep me the center of the attention, make me nice and popped out. It's 12 a.m. guys. My words might be a little bit scattered. I'm a little bit tired, so just work with me. All right, so we got a little bit of vignetting. Let's see. Just keep it nice and go super heavy with it. I like to keep it nice and subtle. Cool. That works. All right, so let's look at before and after and see how much this photo's improved. I mean, look at that. So that's before and that's after. So big improvement. It really emphasizes me in the center. So that's just a real quick one. I'll just do that one real quick. I think I like that. Now, if you have any cool presets you want to add on to it, I downloaded these tropical ones, and that can kind of give it a stylized look too. So if you guys have any presets that you like, let's just go to the ones that are already in here. So if you want to go more natural look, so that's without natural, there's natural, there's all these types of looks, vivid, matte. So you can go through it, just go through your presets if you want to add anything else, but I think that looks pretty good. I'd just keep it like that. I wouldn't really add any presets to it. All right, so let's look at another photo to do. Got my wife in the same shot. What's a different type of photo? I don't want to do one exactly the same. Let's see. There we go. I like this one. So here we go. We got another one that's a bit overexposed. So let's drag those highlights down again. Let's just drag those things way down and bring up the whites a bit. I like that. Let's see before and after. Now this is all personal preference, guys. Like some people may think a certain look looks way better than another one, but yeah, so I like that. The highlights brought back these trees up top. So we had hit before, they're completely gone, and then after they're back. And that's one thing about shooting. I prefer to shoot in RAW because it retains a lot of that detail, and it's just so much better than JPEG. And I recommend if you have a camera that shoots RAW, shoot RAW. Okay, so up next, let's do that vibrance thing again. Let's bring it up 20. Let's see what that looks like. Oh yeah, I like that. That already looks good. And then maybe let's add a little bit of film grain to this. I'm not gonna do that much. I just was curious to see. Let's just chuck it up to 50. Kind of add that film grain in there. Once again, personal preference. I know some people really love the film grain and they'll go above 50 and they'll have it up here. There'll be some people that just add a slight bit. We'll just go somewhere in the middle. Just add it in there. Let's add that vignetting back into it. Just add it right. Kind of keep it subtle. Don't want to go too crazy with it, because we want her to be a center of attention. Let's see what enable lens correction looks like. Not doing that. Anytime I hit enable lens correction, I just kind of vomit in my mouth. Now, some people may swear by that. I'm not entirely sure, but I just don't like what it does to it. Yeah, not a fan. Not a fan. Okay, so once again, let's go back to radial gradient. And let's bring out my wife. Let's bring her out. Let's make her the center of attention. All right, make you center of attention. So it's on inverted again. So let's bring down that exposure from everywhere else. It's almost affecting her. Where is the... Maybe let's just drag it out a bit more. Let's just drag it out so she doesn't get affected as much. Let's see. All right, there we go. That's a bit better. That looks pretty cool. I like that. I think I'm gonna add another gradient, radial gradient, however you say it, and then make her a little bit brighter. Let's go like that. And let's see. Whoa, that's not what we wanted to do. We're hitting the wrong one. Which one are we at? Okay, so that's the outside one. Okay, so we want to invert that and bring her up just a bit. So cool, I like that. I like the way that looks. Maybe even bring it up a little bit. Maybe let's try the highlights. Let's bring the highlights up maybe with her a little bit. It's just a lot of playing around, guys. You know, I could be stuck at this all day. I'm trying to keep this as quick as possible, Not anything too crazy. So, Matt could look like an angel. All right, let's see. All right, cool. I think I like that. I think I like that. Oh, here we go. The feathering option. This is what I was looking for. So this is going to allow you to feather it out. Obviously, you don't want a big circle around. So the feathering was at 100%. So I was wondering what was going on. So yeah, the feathering up here will make it so it blends a little bit better. So there we go. I like the way that looks. She looks a lot better than that. Cool. So I really like that. Not much more I would do to that. Maybe let's go back to our adjustments here. Let's see what a little S curve does. Bring it up ever so slightly. Bring it down. Let's see. Do I like that? Yeah, I do like that. Sometimes it's nice just to play around, make it like just a little simple S curve. Let's bring up the highlights and drop the shadows just a bit. I do it with video editing as well. Just kind of makes everything pop a little bit more. Cool, so I'm liking the way that looks. Let's do before and after one more time. Before, after. So much better, so much better. Hopefully you guys are following along. All right, I like that. I like that. Let's do another one. Let's do another one. So, what can we do? What's this? There, here. Okay, so this right here, I edited this to make it look more blue. So let's look at a similar one. Okay, so we got this cave shot. Let's have some fun with this. All right. This hasn't anything to do with any center objects. There's some people there, but I don't really want to emphasize them. Let's see. Can we actually just reset this photo? How do we reset it? Like I said, guys, I'm not a pro at this. Actually, on the phone one, I'm pretty good, but I've just recently started using the one on the desktop. So we'll just stick with this photo. All right. So let's play around. Let's see. Do we want the highlights down a little bit? They all look pretty good. I'll bring it down just ever so slightly. About the exposure, maybe bring up the exposure just ever so slightly. Play around with the contrast just a bit. Actually, I might just keep that where it was. It's a really dark image, so it's kind of tricky to play with. All right, let's check vibrance. Let's see what that looks like on 20. Whoa, look at that saturation. It goes way red. All right. Yeah. Let's check this enable lens correction, see what that looks like with that. Okay, so this is a situation where I actually like that because that's where we want to brighten it up, you know, inside dark spaces. So usually when you select the enable lens correction, it brightens up the area. So yeah, I'm digging that. So that's a good example of when I like to use that. You know, it doesn't make me vomit in my mouth. All right, so like this photo, let's make the water look a little bit more blue. So let's adjust this little radial gradient. Let's make it, drag it this way. All right, let's see. It's kind of a tricky shot because it's a bit angled. All right, let's see, drag it down a bit. We might just add another one in here. So we'll just play around with this one right here. All right, so how do we make it look blue? So let's go back up. Oh, sorry. We'll stay in the radial gradient. That's what we want. All right, so we'll bring it down and we'll mess around with the hue. So as you can see, the hue of the water is changing, the color of the water. So, ooh, that looks kind of cool. Let's change it to what we like. I'm liking that. That looks pretty cool. Let's see what the saturation does. Nah, I'll probably just keep it at 0. All right, let's see. Let's unfeather it just a bit. All right, yeah, I like that. Let's see what the highlights look like if we just bring it up a tad bit. Ooh, I kind of like that because you can kind of see the stalactites. Excuse me if I'm wrong. Is it stalactites? The hangy, spiky things, whatever they're called, they pop up through the water. So that looks kind of cool. It almost looks kind of trippy. It looks like there's almost some at the bottom of the lake. So that's cool. So yeah, we'll bring up the highlights a bit. Let's see what his white looks like. Yeah, let's bring up the whites just a bit. Mess around with the texture. Yeah, we'll bring it up a bit just to kind of really emphasize those spikes in the water. Clarity. Might drag clarity down a bit just to kind of make it look like it's, you know, an actual reflection. We don't want it to be too sharp, otherwise it just looks kind of fake. So might just bring clarity down a bit. Dehaze, we don't really need to mess with dehaze. Just put that back at 0. Let's see. Maybe I'll even bring texture back a little bit. I don't want it to look too sharp. We might actually just leave texture at 0. Then again, guys, it's all personal preference. All right. Let's see. I'm liking the way that looks. I might actually adjust the colors a little bit. I kind of like more of that like teal look that we had in that last photo. Yeah, I'm liking the way that looks. All right, let's add another one. Let's add another little circle, radial gradient, whatever they like to call it. Let's cover up the bits of the water that aren't blue. Cool, so this is just a little example of like just how much you can adjust your image and adjust the colors of your image to be a certain way. Now there's another way you can do that with linear gradient. So basically you just draw a line to whatever area you want to change instead of a radial gradient. It's basically just this line. So whatever is in this line will change. Now, let's say we want to brighten that area up. Now, I don't necessarily want to, but just for example, we can brighten that area up. I actually kind of like that. It's not a bad idea. To really emphasize more of that. And let's see. Let me just drag the highlights down just a bit to make it look even with everything else. So here we go. We just, anything that's in that line is affected if you don't get it already. All right, so we'll do before and after. So that looks pretty cool. I think that looks really cool. I mean, I'm sure there's a bunch of different things we could still do. Let's see. Let's get funky with it. Let's just change the colors just to make this cave look like it had a party in it. So yeah, you got a little purple up here. Let's see. Let's invert it. Let's see what that looks like. Whoa, okay, that's too crazy. All right, let's just say that they had some purple lights in there or something. So that kind of gives it that like stylized party look. All right. All right. I don't know if I'm really digging it. I mean, maybe we'll drag it up here. All right, it looks kind of cool. All right. Anyways, you get that. You get the idea. So I'll leave it like that because it looks more natural. It almost looks a little bit fake with the blues. I might even just kind of mess around. Let's see. Can we change? Let's see. Can we tone it down a bit? Let's go to saturation. Where's the saturation at? Where are you, saturation? There you are. Let's just tone that down a bit. Let's drag it. Is that even doing anything? It almost is just making it look darker. Let's see, is that -33? Let's change this one to -33. Okay, so we could bring it just way down to -80. All right, so that looks a little bit more natural. It doesn't look so vibrant. But I mean, hey, if that's what you're going for, if you're trying to make it look vibrant, go for it. So that was a bit fun. I like that. That was fun. All right, guys, hopefully that video gave you a little bit of a better understanding on how to make your photos pop and just using those radial gradients to really emphasize a certain subject or an object in your photo. So like we did with me in the center of the photo, made me brighten up and then darken the background and then add a little bit of vignetting to really just emphasize me in the photo. Or let's say you have an object or something, like if you're taking a picture of a ring, you can use those same techniques to really emphasize that certain particular object in the photo. Like I said before, guys, it's all personal preference. Just open up Lightroom, open up your photos, and just play around with it. Just have a good time editing photos because it's a lot of fun, and there's no wrong or right way to do anything. People have their own styles, and people just got to honor that. Maybe something that looks good to you may not look good to them. Big deal. Have fun with it, guys. Hopefully this tutorial helped you, and thank you so much for watching. If this helped you out, hit that like button, or if you hate it, hit the dislike button twice. And thank you so much for watching. Subscribe for more videos on filmmaking and photography, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!